Welcome to our 2022 Clipper 17 BH, kind of the off-road edition here. Starting right in the back bumper, you can just reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here. That's how they'll be hooking it up to your sewer system. The hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long, and we're just keeping it stored in the bumper back here just to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that bit fresher. That cap just presses into place. In this corner, as well as in each corner of the unit, you're going to find a stabilizer jack. What they do is they just run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll just get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now. Just keep things firm while you're out camping. Another step forward from there, we get your sewer system. So that cap, you're going to kind of press on it and you can turn it on out of there. You see it's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had, so you'll be attaching that the same way. Just pressing it on, turning it until it clicks in. On the left you get a gray valve, on the right you get a black, so that black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilets. It's of course going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll be dumping that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank's going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water, we'll just dump that last just to help keep that hose as clean as possible. Step forward from there, we get your cable and satellite inlets. Just a coax cable plug into there, fires up at your TV location. Right beside that is your power inlet, so as you pop that open, you'll find a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, give it a little eighth turn, that'll lock it down. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it into place. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites are going to have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. A couple more steps forward, we get your hot water tank here, so you just got that keyway and you can line that up and pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside of the unit. Before we ever turn it on though, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. Make sure that shot of water comes out. That bit of water coming out of there is just letting you know this tank is full, it's safe to fire it up, and you're not going to burn anything out by doing so. Once we get inside and do fire it up, I will go over a reset procedure, and the button that I'll refer to is just right there. Once you're done, you're just swinging it back up, locking it back down. And there you go. This cap up top here, you're going to loosen that off. You can pull it out of there, and that's your freshwater inlet. So you just be taking your water hose and plug it into there, turn on your water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. The drain for that tank, you'll see right underneath the unit. Currently got it going right now. Just has a little white cap that would thread onto the end of that there. Plugs it off. Right, simple as that. Down below that, you get your city water connection. So your water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Storage compartment here, so as you open that up, you get a little finger on the left side there, holds it open for you. That's where I've just got that little white cap for that freshwater tank drain. Right beside that, you get your water hose. So inside of there, you'll find a park adapter. So your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard household outlet. And then around front of the unit, inside of this black box here is your battery. So as long as you're plugged in through that short cord in the back, or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. Underneath this cover is your propane tank. So if we reach in the back along that hose, you get the access to that valve, and you can turn that to open it up. It's just your standard barbecue style propane tank. Up front, you get your standard tongue jack, one way's up, other way's down. Around the side of the unit, we got a solar panel plug-in right here, so just a 2-prong plug would plug into there, charges your batteries, simple as that. Other end of your storage compartment, inside of here, you're gonna find a little jack there for running all of your stabilizers. Basically just a 3/4 inch end. Would attach onto the back stabilizers. We don't have front ones in this unit. And then that is just open storage, sees straight through to the other side, also accessible from underneath your bed inside. 2 service ports for your fridge there. They're also just vents, so really nothing back there for you to worry about. GFI protected outlet right beside it, so if you're looking to have power outside, you got it. Resets just inside of the unit. Straight up from there, we'll find your stove vent. So you just get this little flap in there. You want to make sure that's opened up with your fan inside turned on, evacuating any fumes from our stove. Of course, propane stove is going to be putting off fumes whenever you're using it. Right? Once you're done, you can just kind of click it back into place, and that'll prevent any sort of dust from kicking up in there. Exhaust for your furnace here, so you just to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Straight down underneath there, kind of right behind the frame rails, you got a couple of more white caps there. You just unthread those. Those are your low point drains. They allow the water system to drain itself out. Purpose of that would be if you're leaving the unit for a while and you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, or if you're going to be winterizing the unit, you just want to get all the water out before pumping antifreeze through. In the back corner, you get a little leash link, so if you got the dog out with you, you can tie him down. And then in the back of the unit, you get your spare tire. Straight up from there, you'll find a pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. In your door here, you're just gonna kind of, with my thumb, I like to press on it and then pull the handle out. If you try to just pull the handle, it seems to be the resistance there, so it just makes it a bit easier. With that door wide open, it does contact your awning arm, so do keep that in mind if you're gonna be running your awning. Otherwise, the door is just on a friction hinge, so it kind of sits wherever you leave it. Yellow handle here either way will undo the latches and you can pull it out. You get the little quick pins on either side. You just push those up and out of there and you can extend or retract your legs based on your campsite needs. And as we come up inside, first things first is right on the left there, we got your fire extinguisher. So that's standard, pull the pin, point and shoot. Up the wall from there, we get your GFI protected outlets. So test on the left, reset in the center. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Up above that is your furnace, so your thermostat control for your furnace. That slider all the way over to the left there, that's it turned off. All the way over to the right is going to be max heat. Anywhere in the middle is your temperature selection. So straight up from there, we're going to find your light switches on the right side here. You get your awning light, we'll show you that in a minute. Right beside that is your ceiling light. It turns on all of our ceiling lights. And while we got that going, I'm just real quickly going to show you your furnace back here. So you get for ducting, it's all you got is that one little duct right there. So it's either left or right or up and down. The furnace is also on a safety switch. So if you have the bathroom door open, safety switch up in there. All right, just doesn't allow the furnace to run. You do have to have this door closed for it to turn on, just that it's not cooking the door. And like I said, all the way over to the left, clicks and turns it off. And then also I'll just mention real quick, the first couple of times you run that furnace, you may get a bit of a smell throughout the unit. It's just the new furnace smell, it will go away. So down below your awning light was your awning itself. So press and hold extend and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you were to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's our little flap there. And there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, and you're just going to pull down on it. Right. Then you can tighten down that knob and that'll hold it in place. And then you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these knobs are loosened off and the arm's fully extended, just so we're not running the risk of bending them. And then we'll press and hold retract. The awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric is over top of the tubes and that you're not going to be contacting your door. Another thing to keep in mind with your awning is once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour of wind, it is catching all that wind. So again, you just want to bring it back in so that you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Alright, so we did your awning light, we've done your ceiling lights. Right beside that we get your water pump switch. So as you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Beside that's your water heater, so as you turn that on, that'll fire up your water heater outside. Sorry, let me just go through that once more. So I've currently got it hot just because we've just been through the unit. So basically, once you turn that switch on, you would get a little red light up there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence starts, that light will go out. It'll try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, at that point you'll be going and using that reset button that we'd shown you. Okay, and then up top you get your monitor system. So battery there on the left, you can see we're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, you go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. That's currently just full just because I haven't dumped it out yet. Towards the front here, and you get your TV backer up on the wall. Up above that, you get your power outlet as well as your cable and satellite outlet for it. Some storage across the top. Same space on the side there. Up above the bed, there is a little light there. And if we pick up the bed, there's a little handle on the end here. Get access to the storage compartment underneath. One little screw back there, you pull that out, you can get this panel out of the way. It gives you access to your water pump, so you're looking to winterize the unit yourself once it comes time. It's straight through there. LP detector's down on the end of the bed right here. So propane's everything there. It sits on the floor. This guy detects it, starts going off just like a smoke detector would. And then the dinette, you got a little light down there. And your dinette's pretty straightforward. You get your little seat, kind of the dinette set up as is, right? Beyond that, you got the 2 little folding table legs. So you undo that latch and then you can fold the leg in. And then you get little black ledges on either side. The table will then sit down onto those. You'll take the back cushions, fill in the middle to create a bed, and then you get more storage up top. Right above our heads is our smoke detector. And then in the kitchen, so you get your storage up top there. Inside of that binder, you're going to find all your owner's manuals, any keys, any remotes, anything like that for the unit, you'll find right in there. And up above the counter, you get another little light there, and you can see it's just open storage. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. You do also have a mobile head there. The sink cover is made of the same material as your counter. Then you get kind of this open storage space here. There is a plug-in or an outlet back there. So typically this is where a microwave would go. This unit does not come with one, so it's just kind of the open space. Get a range light as well as your range fan. So that's that fan that you want turned on with that flatboot side opened up, evacuating all our fumes. For the stove, you're going to grab a lighter, press that knob in, turn it over to light, hit it with that lighter, and you can see she fires right up. I will just mention real quick that the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the unit for a while, it will take a minute to fire up just because it'll have to clear out air out of the propane lines. It's perfectly normal. Your fridge here on the other end, so you get your power button on the left there, so with it close to flush, that's it turned on. With it out over flush, that's it turned off. The button on the right here with it close to flush is first going to be running on auto. Auto is first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it running solely on gas, you're going to have that button come out over flush, and that'll fire it up just on gas. Thumb latch on the side there, you're going to push that up, and then you can open up the fridge. You get your freezer up top, and the rest is just fridge space, of course. Storage below your sinks, just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. Then at the end here you get a bit more storage. And down from there is your furnace that we've shown you already, and then down below that's your converter. Press it top and center and she pops on open. You get all of your breakers on the left side there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. On the right side you get all of your fuses. In the little bunk space here, right in the back, you get a little push button light there, USB charging in the back corner as well. Right by my feet, we got a little door here, so you can open that up and you get access to that whole storage compartment. If you wanted to, you can also pick up this mattress, and this panel right here will just lift right up and you get access to the same compartment. Up top, you get pretty well identical bunk space. You get the light in the back, USB charging, just with the addition of the window here. Emergency exit here, of course, so you're just pulling that red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Blinds throughout the unit are just on this tension system, so they just sit wherever you leave them. Right. And then lastly, we'll come into the bathroom here. So inside of here, your light switch is just right up on the wall. Toilet, you get your flusher front and center. Right above my head, you get your roof vent, so you're just turning that knob to open it up. Simple as that. And then right behind me, you get your shower, standard head and hose, hot and cold water, of course. And that is that. So if you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to, before we come out of this, air conditioner. Pretty straightforward. You do just have two low fans spots there, right? After low fan, it goes into high fan. So a fan is just moving air around. There's no cooling involved. Once you get into low cool, that's where you start getting cooling. And then after low cool, it comes into high cool. So that's just your compressor running with the high fan. You'll notice in the back here, you do have this temperature selection knob. It has the option for heat. Heat is not hooked up. We do not have a heat pump installed in this air conditioner, so that won't work. It'll just be cold. If you're looking for heat, we've got a dedicated furnace, right? Now that is it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.